Right, I saw this clip and you've got to watch it because it made me laugh. This is Alex Stringer, comedian, who's dressing up as a drag queen in a trans BLM face mask, and he's at an Austin City Council meeting talking about his concern for the Palestinians. And it's obviously just a comedic act, but the people there didn't know it, and I wanted to show it to you because it's a sad but hilarious commentary on our current state of affairs in the Western world. Have a watch.
Of item 64, because the state is trying to erase my identity as a female.
And just like my comrades in Palestine, I am also a victim of genocide.
I'm a beautiful trans woman, and the state is trying to invalidate my existence because Greg Abbott is an actual Nazi. He even had the nerve to say that women like me should not be allowed to teach children in AISD.
I am a drag queen and a trans sex worker,
Look at
and I
this
have
guy.
just as much of a right to teach kindergarten as anybody else, Kirk.
Because I'm a role model for children, and more people should grow up to be just like me, okay? And we've been brainwashed by the patriarchy, because this is what peak femininity looks like! Sorry, I'm on my period. Anyway, I am just as much of a woman.
You rarely come down here to provide anything serious.
I am serious. My
you're not.
identity is being threatened by fascism, and I would like to speak.
Because my identity as a woman is just as valid, okay? Thank you. And I'm just as much of a woman as every single female on this council, and you need to recognize it. And honestly, after this outburst against me, Kirk, I would feel safer moving to the Gaza Strip. Because Texas is a fascist hellscape, and at least Hamas would make me feel safe and accepted because they are freedom fighters. And besides, they throw the best rooftop parties for people like me.
Oh no.
Thank you. And free Palestine.
Are you done?
I am done now.
Great.
I am
Thank
done,
you.
But I will not be forgotten and I will not be erased.
Quit acting like a child.
I'm a woman!
Wow. If ever one video could so perfectly capture the state of affairs in the Western world today, that video did it. I don't know what to say. It's clever, and I guess the sad part is that it's really not very far from reality. The great tragedy is that we do see queers for Palestine, trans for Palestine. I saw reproductive rights for Palestine, a pro-choice movement for. I mean, if they don't realise that they'd be one of the first that Hamas would come to after the Jews, then they're beyond help. It's on so many levels. It just shows how crazy we've become in pandering to nonsense, whether it's from the anti-Israel brigade who are trying to demonize Israel, or whether it's from, in this case, the queers for Palestine and the far left, and indulging their kind of culture of fear and playing into it and indulging it and trying to appease them, as we're seeing some campuses do. In either way, all it is just delaying the oncoming onslaught. People think that by just appeasing you can calm the tide, but all it does, as Douglas Murray so powerfully points out, it just maybe delays the oncoming problems. So when I watched this video, I think one of the things that actually came to mind is that actually much of what fuels the insanity, whether it's on the far left issues or whether it comes to the Israel conflict, much of the rage comes from simple ignorance and misinformation. And that, quite frankly, many of these campaigners haven't got a clue which river and which sea they're talking about, haven't got a clue what intifada means. And that is probably, on balance, a good thing. Because the hatred of old, the anti-Semitism of old, was one in which they deeply understood who the Jews were and didn't like what they had brought to the world, or they had a clear ideological construct that insisted on getting rid of the Jews, whereas I think for a lot of these people today, they wouldn't want to consider themselves anti-Semites. They're simply misinformed. They've been whipped up by a frenzy of hysteria. And in some cases, not all, but in some cases, with some information, with some enlightenment, and with some demystifying, people's minds can be changed, or at least the silent majority can come round to our perspective. In the end, I think all this crazed woke stuff and insanity will have to disintegrate, because it's just completely self-negating, and it reveals itself as the end. All falsehoods in the end reveal themselves as falsehoods and collapse. So we just have to keep doing what we're doing, and I definitely think this comedy stuff helps to reveal the insanity. But for our part, we're going to keep sharing the truth and being absolutely unambiguous in what the truth is. And if you're able to help us at all in that, you can do so by subscribing. A free way is to comment and like our videos, because that helps the videos get into the algorithm, sharing them with other people. But if you're able to also click the join button below this video, where you can become a member. You get you get special perks like early access to new videos. If you become a JTV producer, then you can have private live discussions with us where we can talk about JTV content. But most of all, you're actually going to help us to grow, expand, market ourselves more, get more content out there, and join us in making this world better, more peaceful, and more godly. I'm Ollie Anisfeld, and you're watching JTV. Hi, thank you so much for watching. To watch another one, click here. To stay up to date with all our content, click here to subscribe. And if you're able to, you can help support JTV to grow and grow by clicking join below this video, where you can become a member and get perks including early access to videos and private live discussions with me. But most of all, you'll be partnering with us on our mission to change the world.